Yes.
Thank you, sir. Hello. Hello, and welcome. There we go, the wave. Welcome to this Doing Good Learning Series, the first event of which is on the topic of the digital economy. Why are we doing a Doing Good Learning Series? Two reasons. One, we want you to have a great working experience inside Doing Good, working with good people, doing good work, and feeling good about that. We also want you to have a perspective of where your work and doing good fits inside the digital economy and this massively growing ecosystem in which we all sit. That's the purpose of it. We have with us here in the bright red room our two founders, Manu, waving, and Andy, tipping the hat. I just want to tell you a little bit about Manu and Andy, and then tell you about Doing Good. Now, a lot of you already know this information, and you've been around and seen these folks for a while. But for the sake of anybody who is newer to the Doing Good community, Manu is indeed one of our two Doing Good co-founders who started this whole gig with an unfortunate experience with COVID in March of 2020. And he's the one who's brought us all together. And if you've had some exposure to Manu, you know that he is deeply charismatic and attracts wonderful people and wonderful ideas. His experience is in marketplaces that make social impact in decentralized communities and in open source communities. So Doing Good is an area in which, Manu, would you say you have some experience, but you're still learning?
Obviously, I mean, we haven't figured out everything yet, for sure. There's a lot of things to learn from everyone. All the different perspectives that everyone is bringing to the organization is always super important, I think, to take into consideration.
Brilliant. And your co-founder, our co-founder, Andy, who comes to us with original experience in what you might call the first analog cooperative, one of the first analog cooperatives, the company called Land O'Lakes, which for Americans, you might know Land O'Lakes from the dairy aisle. And Land O'Lakes, I think, is pretty well known to be one of the largest dairy cooperatives in the world. And that meant that, Andy, the farmers participate, they all pool the milk, and then the Land O'Lakes cooperative entity turns it into product, milk product, and the proceeds go to the cooperative and back to the farmers, but they don't get taken, extracted by a large corporate entity. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And it's even expanded beyond just dairy now too, as it touches all phases of agriculture, both on the feed production for livestock, for animals, as well as crop production, so corn, soybean, all crop inputs, all that side. So the model can expand.
Sure. So these are our two co-founders, and I myself have having a huge amount of fun and learning a ton working with you guys. So thank you for inviting me to play. And the question is, why Doing Good and why now? So I'm going to share with you the sort of what we call problem statement, and then share with you the solution statement for Doing Good. The problems thought, the problem we're trying to solve, there's so many individuals in so many places around the world, creators, artists, and organizations that want to do good. However, in their way of doing good are structural barriers and behavioral barriers. And these could be things that are inconvenient, that are inefficient, or they're just not possible given where these creators and these organizations are. So the amount of doing good is massively depressed and lower than it should be and needs to be. The solution is what? We have to do better, and that's what this Doing Good solution is all about. It's a marketplace that's focused on empowering individuals, creators, and organizations to support one another in becoming self-owned, self-sustained, and self-governed. This is a huge vision and massively compelling once we can understand how we're going to get it done. And that's part of what today is about. Each purchase in this marketplace, each purchase that's made, a mandatory minimum of 5% is streamed to social impact organizations and social causes that is chosen by the creator. So every transaction does good. And the creator, it's all in the creator's and the artist's hands, how they want to expend, to where they want those funds to go, all in the creator's choices. Okay, that's our founders. That's the nature of doing good. Now let's take a look at the conference. The conference day, we have 4 panels. Each one starts at 15 minutes after the hour, and each one lasts for 55 minutes. In between the panels, we'll have, and after the last discussion, we'll have a small amount of time, more so at the end, for you to go into the atrium to visit the volunteer booth and say hello to Sophia, to go to the networking bar and just meet somebody randomly for 1, 2, or 3 minutes. Totally fun, insane, crazy. And the product booth to get an inside view of what our folks are working on right now. So that's our introduction. Andy and Manu, anything you would like to share at this moment before we break and get our first panel set up?
Well, I want to invite everyone to check all these panels. We have great speakers with a lot of knowledge.
Okay, a lot of we don't have great connection there, but I do know oh, you're back. Go ahead. Great speakers who are.
So yeah, I was saying we have great speakers that bring a lot of knowledge about the digital economy and all the different issues that we're facing currently as humanity when it comes to the digital landscape. So I really encourage everyone to check it out and also engage with the speakers, ask questions in the chat, and yeah.
Brilliant. It's going to be, and all right, I'm going to let everybody go. We will, the proof will be in the pudding. We have some amazing people with us. I think 12 different experts from all different parts of the digital economy and investment, digital currencies. Oh, there we go. And then some risks in the digital economy and one other that is escaping me at this moment. It is going to be an incredibly vibrant and dynamic time. We really look forward to having your questions and helping us know what you want to learn about. Okay, we have about 7 minutes before we start the first panel. So this is your opportunity to go to the networking bar, the volunteer booth. If you're a volunteer and you want to find out what other projects you can get involved in, that's the place to go. If you haven't yet joined as a volunteer, that's also the place to go to figure out how you get onboarded. And then, of course, the product booth where you can see what's going on. All right, we will see you in 6 minutes.